This episode is dedicated to the memory of Nelson Frazier Jr. Hello everybody and welcome to the WWE pay-per-view post-show for WWE Elimination Chamber. That was long. 2014. The pay-per-view wasn't called That Was Long, by the way. I am here as your loyal and patient host from the heart of the Midlands in England. My name is Tom, and joining me from across the pond and a little bit north from some part of Canada, I'm joined by Taker's Soul Girl. Interesting name you've got there. We'll talk about that a bit later.
Hi.
But
I'm super happy, but we'll get to that later.
Obviously, we're here 24 hours later than we normally are for a pay-per-view post-show, and that's because pretty big Raw following Elimination Chamber, and I figured we'd do both in one review. So let's get started with WWE Elimination Chamber. Obviously, the kickoff aired on YouTube and everywhere else, including everywhere else.
For a change.
I have watched the match. That's about it.
Yeah.
Obviously, Josh Matthews, who is honestly, he's a really good announcer. I don't know why they waste him like this. Welcoming us to the Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yay!
Hometown of Brock Lesnar, incidentally.
We'll get to that later.
But yeah, the match on the pay-per-view, on the pre-show anyway for the pay-per-view, was a tag team match between the Rhodes Brothers and Ryback.
Yes.
Now, we made predictions over on Diana's channel. She's not here, but she might be here later. We all called the Rhodes, didn't we?
No, you said Ryback was going to win.
Oh, yeah, I called Ryback, yeah, shit. So, that's a point for you and Diana. Obviously, so what did you think? What did you make of the match? I mean, I at the time of making the predictions, thought we'd see a Rhodes Brothers breakup. Are you pleased that we didn't?
Yeah, but it's bound to happen eventually because all tag teams break up.
Yeah, but I mean, I thought they'd do it for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But it looks like that's not in the cards then at the moment.
But what I want to know is how did they go from being tag team champions to being on the thing?
I don't know. Ask King Kong Bundy, who went from the main event of WrestleMania 2 to the opening match on WrestleMania 3. That's
really?
Yeah, that's actually a thing. WrestleMania 2, he wrestled Hogan in a cage.
Yeah, I remember that.
WrestleMania 3, he was in a comedy match with a bunch of midgets.
Dave.
So
WWE is very strange with her.
Yeah, WWE just sometimes decide, you know what, we're going to book this guy into the ground.
Yeah.
Take reference there in a Mr. Dolph Ziggler, who has been booked into the ground. And Bad News Barrett, who had a big part of Raw, we'll talk about a bit later. But, so obviously we go into the main pay-per-view. Which the first match is the Intercontinental title.
Yep.
The Intercontinental Championship between Jack Swagger and Big E. We all predicted Big E to win, and we were all correct.
Woohoo!
So
I discovered through that I'm not actually that bad at predicting things.
Yeah, well, at this point, this was my first point on the card, so I'm already a point behind you two.
Yeah. Oh,
so...
my phone is ringing. Lovely. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Okay, so that was an okay match, I guess.
Hang on. I'll have to cut this out. So.
Yep, there we go.
I'll cut that out.
Okay,
so the Intercontinental Championship between Jack Swagger and Big E. We all predicted that Big E would win. So what were your thoughts of the match? Jack Swagger is really good. I got into this match a bit.
He's okay, I guess. I gotta
Uh,
say, Zeb Coulter slapping him in the face did something.
I've got to say, Zeb Coulter's promo wasn't as good as we've come to expect in recent months. That this was one of his poor promos.
I don't even remember it. How's that for you?
It was hence why it was one of his poor ones. But Ricardo Rodriguez was on Spanish commentary. I want to point out.
That's cool.
Yeah, but obviously Big E won with a big ending.
Yay!
Decent match. Suitable to open the card. Were you happy with Big E winning?
Yep.
I might have considered letting Jack Swagger have the IC title because I think Big E's a bit lost in the shuffle at the moment and he could do with a push maybe.
Yeah.
But either way, Big E picks up the win. Bad news: Barrett appears on his podium. Gives us bad news about the Russians winning more gold medals than the Americans. Ha, America at the Winter Olympics.
I think we won the more gold medals than the Americans too. So ha.
Ha, America. So
sorry, Deanna, if you're listening.
She's going to be on this in a minute, in a bit. But ha, America. Yeah, Daniel Bryan was injured, and WWE pointed this out a lot during the show, which I think was a very good tease by WWE because the more they referenced that Daniel Bryan was hurt, the more we thought maybe he'll win.
Yeah, fucking. We'll get to that later, but I'm not happy.
Next match, obviously, we see the Usos versus the New Age Outlaws. This was a shocking result.
I think you predicted the New Age Outlaws would win. I'm not sure though.
I'm not sure. Did I not predict against them?
I don't know.
I'm sure I said Usos because I said it's about time the Outlaws dropped the titles.
I think so.
So in fact, no, I think we all said the Usos.
Yeah.
Yeah, so none of us got any points for that. But do you think Elimination Chamber was the time for the Usos to pick the title up? Would you say? Because I think it might have been time for them to take the belts.
Yeah, like unless they're gonna do it at WrestleMania, like why?
Well, there were rumors they were gonna do it on Raw last night.
That didn't happen either.
But that didn't happen either. No. So do you think it might be for SmackDown?
SmackDown or Mania, something. I don't know. I don't know what WWE is doing nowadays.
I think the belts will come off them at or by WrestleMania. I think.
Yeah.
Because I can't see the point in of them hanging on to the titles this long.
Yeah.
But this one ended. It was an interesting ending as well because it sort of showed that the Outlaws used their experience and took advantage when one of the Usos wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
Which I think is a clever thing to do because even though
it shows you got to pay attention to.
It's also sort of like a master and apprentice kind of thing, and showing that these old guys, whilst they might be old, they're ring smart, they're experienced.
Yeah.
You know, the old dog may not be able to learn many new tricks, but he probably knows more tricks than you do.
Yeah.
Sort of the old dog still got some fight in him, and I think that was really good because I do think the Outlaws are looking better than they've looked in a very, very long time. And honestly, I wouldn't mind them hanging onto the belts a bit longer. If WWE don't think the Usos are the ones to take the titles, I think I'd happily let them hang on to the belts until somebody's ready to take them.
Yeah, hang on to the belts for as long as they can.
Yeah, and it's good to have them on. It's good to have them on the card because whatever you say, like them or not, Triple H's buddies or not, they still get good reactions to the
they do
to their usual pre-match shtick.
Yeah.
So
which is cool. Which Road Dogg, which sadly they didn't get to do last night because
they did it on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, they did on the pay-per-view, but they didn't get to do it last night because one of the Usos kicked Road Dogg in the face. Well, he was.
You've got to love their shtick though.
Yeah.
Right, so obviously the New Age Outlaws hang on. It was Jimmy. It was which Uso was it?
I don't even know. I can't
Billy.
tell them apart.
Jimmy. It was Jimmy. Jimmy Uso goes bananas with the hot tag, kicks Road Dogg off the apron with a super kick. Billy Gunn comes from behind, rolls him up for the 3 count.
Yeah. And again, keep your eyes on your
and then again, keep your eyes on the sky. Here comes my boy, Bad News Barrett. He said he
Okay, I got a question. Why is he doing that now? What the hell?
Because WWE don't know how to book a brilliant person. I hope he's injured. That's all I'm saying. I hope he's injured.
Yeah.
But my boy, Bad News Barrett, pops up to let us all know that Daniel Bryan won't become the WWE champion. And for that, he wants to lead the crowd in a yes chant. So then of course the guys start to give one of their very first WWE Network promos. The crowd wants the crowd wants CM Punk. Frankly, I just want the network in the UK.
Yeah, I know. I want it in Canada, so don't feel bad.
So next up, obviously, is the match that we all called it because we all called that Vince McMahon wouldn't let a gay black man win on a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Darren Young versus Titus O'Neil. Obviously, Titus picks up the win.
Good for him, I guess. I don't know.
I think though Darren showed that he had quite a bit of fight in him. It wasn't like he just rolled over for Titus, so to speak.
But something that my mom said to me, and this is very true, is Vince McMahon is very old school.
Oh yeah, Vince is completely old school.
So the fact that he's not gonna let a gay black man get ahead in the company shouldn't be surprising.
I don't think Vince likes letting black men get over in the company. I don't think he likes letting gay men get over in the company, let alone a gay black man.
Yeah.
You know, I mean that's 2 minorities.
Yeah.
But then of course, Bad News Barrett, my boy, pops up again.
Didn't he pop up in between all of them?
He did, I think. He popped up again just to run down Hulk Hogan returning. The pre-show panel of experts was Josh Matthews, Ric Flair, and Ric Flair. Was it Ric Flair?
No, Josh Matthews, Rey Mysterio.
Oh yeah, that's it. Sorry, I've watched Raw since. Ric Flair was on Raw, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It was Josh Matthews, Rey Mysterio, Mark Henry, and
The Miz.
The Miz, yeah.
Which I think they did that because something about how they've all been in a chamber match or something like that.
Yeah, but I mean, still, The Miz on TV says it all. So next up, we have a Shield Wyatt family promo. And then we have the most built up match for this on the show, in my opinion.
That was insane, man.
The Shield versus the Wyatt family. Now I called the winner.
You called the Wyatt family, and we called the Shield. So you got the point on that one.
Yeah. So now I think we're even on points.
Yeah, I think so.
We're even on points. I think we stay even all the way through the show now. But the Shield obviously come out first, followed by the Wyatts. The crowd is chanting, "This is awesome!" and "Thank you NXT."
And let's go Shield and
let's go Shield, let's go Wyatt. So you can tell that the fans are into this match.
Yeah,
and it's a weird thing for WWE to have a match that they've booked where both sides haven't touched each other before the match.
The fans are still into it.
It's real old school booking, but it just goes to show you that old school booking works.
Yeah, but see, Big Nose, aka Triple H, for those of you who don't get the Big Nose thing, doesn't know how to listen to fans, because if he did,
Well, old school booking...
That's all I'm going to say on that.
Old school booking clearly works.
It does.
And maybe more of it would be good, I mean, I've got a real big bugbear with a certain Death Valley residents return that I think would have been better with some old school booking, and I'll talk to you about that a bit later. But this one I'm trying to think of the best way to sum this one up without doing like full play by play, because this was a really long match.
Yeah, it was.
But it ends with Dean Ambrose being absent because he got thrown into the crowd and never came back.
We don't know where he ended up.
He got thrown into the crowd and fell in like an Undertaker style warp hole or something.
Yeah, apparently.
And ended up in the middle of nowhere. Seth Rollins got knocked down and Roman Reigns was left 3-on-1 with the Wyatts.
Yeah, poor guy.
But either way, yeah, that's it. Seth Rollins got double chokeslam through the table, didn't he, for the Spanish table?
Yeah.
Roman was completely on his own. He tried to fight them out, but obviously couldn't. But he did break out of the Sister Abigail. He's the first one to do that.
Yeah, freaking grab Wyatt's hands and just kind of...
He's the first one to break his way out of the Sister Abigail and began to beat the hell out of them. Took out Rowan, took out Harper, then took out Bray. Went for the spear on Bray, but Harper took the bullet for his godfather, so to speak.
Yeah.
He took the bullet, and Bray caught him with a crossbody block. Quick Sister Abigail and won. The Wyatt family picked up the win.
Which really did. The thing about Sister Abigail that disturbs me is that he kisses their forehead. It's like, don't do that.
And also, what you've got is Sister Abigail is a very protected move. Roman Reigns is the only one to break out of it, and I say break out of it. Nobody's kicked out of it yet.
No, not yet.
It's been broken out of it. It's similar, the Sister Abigail, the way it's been protected. So like the tombstone was protected in the early days. People broke out of it first by reversing the tombstone before
climbing off his shoulders.
Yeah, before they ever kicked out of it.
Yeah, I don't even know. Kane, I think,
Kane was the first person to reverse and kick out of it, wasn't he?
I think so, yeah.
But so Sister Abigail, there's a lot of parallels there between Bray Wyatt and Undertaker. One can only wonder. obviously, we'll talk about who Undertaker's facing at this year's WrestleMania. Haha, called it. But
shut up.
What about next year for the Undertaker? Bray Wyatt?
Yeah, please no.
Well, what do you think? Bray Wyatt, Undertaker, somewhere down the line?
Maybe somewhere down the line, but not there. Anywhere but there.
Yeah, not at WrestleMania. But
Roman Reigns, I would take over Bray Wyatt.
But Bray Wyatt versus Undertaker somewhere down the line. Maybe even we see Undertaker in dungarees for a few months.
Hey, stay around like he did last year. That'd be awesome. Yeah.
What if he did SummerSlam, Survivor Series? He could have Reigns at Survivor Series, and then Bray could put him out at he could have Reigns at SummerSlam, and Bray could put him out at Survivor Series. Somebody needs to put him out at around about Survivor Series so that he has a reason to be gone till January.
Yeah, that's the thing though, is finding the reason for him to be gone.
Well, you have him lose. You have him lose, don't you?
Yeah, it's getting harder and harder to find reasons for him to stay gone that long.
Yeah, but you have somebody beat him, and you have him gone based on the Undertaker doesn't understand what defeat is, because he hasn't lost for a very long time.
It's been a while.
Well, he's been doing only WrestleMania matches for a while now.
And last year he did the thing with the Shield.
Yeah. So you could well keep him gone for a while by having him lose a one-on-one match.
Which that whole Shield thing really bothered me because he won and then fucking that happened. Mm-hmm. Oh well.
Well, obviously the Wyatt family pick up the win. We've got another WWE Network promo. Grrr! Bring it to the UK and Canada.
Bring it to Canada, dumbasses, peoples.
You've got a huge audience. Either way, Next up, we see a match that wasn't booked and we couldn't predict. For the WWE Divas Championship, AJ Lee. Now AJ Lee comes out. She's obviously followed by her Fijian man woman.
Yeah.
Tamina. Yeah, and she's followed by her Amazoness. And then she comes. She says she cuts a promo. Basically says that because Naomi broke her face. I just love the way she said that, even though the injury that Naomi picked up is the injury that I've had for years.
Ooh.
A cracked cornea, so I know exactly how that feels.
Yeah, she broke her face.
It's the same thing that kept me out of doing YouTube videos for a couple of months last year.
Oh dear, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but she's got a similar injury, so I do feel sorry for her. But AJ comes out and basically
the way that she said broke her face, it's like
yeah. AJ Lee then AJ basically makes fun of her. Tamina standing there not speaking like she always does, and then AJ says she's got a mystery opponent. Am I the only one at that point who looked at Tamina and thought maybe?
I was kind of like, I wonder.
Am I the only one who just thought Tamina would just reach out, tap her on the shoulder, and clock her?
I was kind of hoping.
But no, the Funkadactyls theme music hits, and out comes Cameron.
I like Cameron.
Yeah, but that was disappointing. It could have been anyone. It could have been a legend. Hell, they could have got Lita to do one match. She's going in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I like Cameron though.
Yeah, but I mean, they could.
They could have done that so many different ways.
It could have been anyone, you know. It could have been Natalia. Give her a shot. It could have been bringing Paige up from NXT. It could be anybody. Why Cameron? You know.
She's Naomi's friend, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, sort of like the way they played it up that it's a mystery opponent. To me, when you say mystery opponent, you're opening my imagination. You know, whenever somebody comes out, whenever a man comes out to the ring and says mystery opponent, I think Taker. You know,
that has happened before.
You know, that has happened. When someone comes out to the ring and goes, I'm going to fail. Open challenge. Anybody can wrestle me. You know?
Yeah, Jack Swagger did that, and he's like, you're always expecting to get a monster, and da-da-da, and then he goes to leave the ring, and the gong hits. It's like, well...
Yeah, you know, something like that. You're thinking Undertaker. When he wasn't wearing a suit, you were thinking Kane, Big Show, you know, somebody scary, somebody dangerous. And then, Cameron comes out, and AJ's face, when she sees it's Cameron, completely tells the story. She starts laughing.
Yeah. I like Cameron, though.
Yeah, but I mean, it should have been somebody intimidating, you know. It would have been the perfect time to turn Tamina on AJ, or even to bring somebody up.
That's going to happen, though, because Tamina kicked AJ in the face by accident.
Yeah, but they seem to be friends. I would have had Tamina have the match, honestly.
Yeah. Just be like, dink, 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 boom.
Well, no, you just have a tap AJ on the shoulder and clock her. The referee rings the bell.
Yeah.
After all, all you're gonna have is AJ sort of say, "You nearly cost me my time. I don't like you anymore. I'll have a match with you," or something like that. You know, and I want Tamina to turn on AJ. I don't want AJ to turn on Tamina. I know we end up with the same result in the end, them having a match and Tamina kicking the shit out of her. But
you prefer it to go the other way.
I want the bodyguard to turn on the wrestler rather than the other way around. Yeah, usually the bodyguard says, "Do you know what? I've had enough of this. I'm going to kill you now," and that's what I like. Old school works.
Yeah, I'm just like Tamina to go. I'm sick of you. I don't like you anymore. Give me a shot at the belt now.
Or if it's a mystery opponent, just clock her and then go, "Yeah, it's me." You know, or even when you're talking divas and you think mystery opponent, Karma.
Oh God, I wish.
Could
I
you
missed her.
imagine Karma? This gigantic woman against the smallest woman wrestling's ever seen, AJ.
Yeah, I miss Karma.
That'd
I
be a
really do.
that would be a brilliant match, though. Karma could literally with one hand throw AJ into the upper part of the arena.
Yeah.
But either way, that match ends and Cameron wins by disqualification because after Tamina kicks AJ in the face, she then breaks the pin of that Cameron makes on AJ, and the referee goes, "Do you know what? I've had enough of this."
Yeah.
Cameron goes outside the ring. Tamina hits her with a clothesline, and the referee disqualifies Cameron. Now, I've never understood that in title matches, right? Why does the referee not be a little bit more lenient, right? Because by awarding Cameron the win by disqualification, the referee has cost her the title.
Yeah, I know. I've never
I've
understood
never,
that.
I've never got that. Surely the referee should think, right, I'm gonna throw Tamina out of the arena, leave the arena. I'm gonna restart the match or something.
Yeah.
The referee by going, yeah, you lose, champion, you lose by disqualification. That's what the champion wants.
Yeah. That's
You know,
why it's called Championship Advantage.
I suppose championship advantage, yeah, but that's always bothered me somewhat.
Yeah.
Oh, but my boy's back. It's Bad News Barrett.
Again. For like the fourth time. Okay, what does he say this time? I don't remember.
I've got to say, this one was brilliant. He talks about the WWE Network being so good that people will stop cleaning their houses, will stop throwing their trash out, and will lose their jobs, and will sit at home and live in squalor, and will give up their lives because of how good the WWE Network is. That was funny.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was kind of funny,
Yeah.
But the next match, before the next match, we have a backstage promo involving Santino, Carly, the Matadors, El Torito, and Emma.
Yeah.
I have a real soft spot for Emma. It's weird, but Emma is. I really do think she's brilliant, and I think she was really funny here.
Yeah. She was good on Raw yesterday.
Santino, I wouldn't piss on him if he was on fire, but Emma, I just think is really good.
Yeah, I saw her on Raw last night. She's pretty good.
So we get to the next match, which we thought was going to be a 30-second match. Bautista versus Alberto Del Rio.
Well, we were right about Batista winning, but
He gave Del Rio a lot more activity than I expected.
yeah.
I didn't think he'd give Del Rio that much to go on, but either way, it ends the way Batista comes out, then Del Rio comes out in a tracksuit
With a crutch.
Yeah, with a crutch in like a workout, a sweat. What do you guys?
Yeah.
What do you guys call that? Workout gear.
Sweatsuit.
Sweatsuit. Yeah, we call them tracksuits. So it's a bit
tracksuit, sweatsuit, same thing.
Yeah. But he comes out in one of those, and yeah.
Somebody needs to teach him how to fake things.
Yeah, Del Rio tells us. Del Rio tells us he's not capable of competing tonight, and then at the moment Batista turns his back, Del Rio clocks him with the crutch.
Somebody needs to teach him how to fake things.
But the fans have discovered the Bautista idea and started doing the Bautista chant.
And the signs.
Yeah. So Del Rio begins to beat down Batista, but Batista eventually does the comeback.
Yeah.
Spinebuster, Batista bomb.
Done.
Gets the win eventually.
Good for him.
And then we get another WWE Network plug to let us know that it's only $9.99 a month for a 6-month commitment, and yet we still can't have it, neither of us.
Yeah, I know.
Stop advertising it! Ah!
No, this is my thing when they advertise something that I want. Stop torturing me!
Yeah, stop teasing me! You know, it's like a WWE Network's it's like a WWE Network stripper. Stop it! Anyway,
Ow, stop hitting me! It's not my fault I'm mad. WWE.
yeah. Anyway, main event time.
Woo!
Inside the Elimination Chamber,
Ugh.
Randy Orton, as I've started to call him, versus Sheamus. Don't do that. I'll start yawning.
No, that was actual yawn.
Yeah, I know, but it's addictive. Versus Cesaro, versus
Yay.
Christian, versus
Yay.
Daniel Bryan, versus Cena.
Yay, yay, yay.
Yay, yay, boo.
I like John Cena. Sorry.
But obviously, first thing I wanted to say, I'm surprised Christian made it to the match. I expected somebody else to replace him.
There was rumor going around that
I was expecting one of two things. Well, I was expecting Christian to be found unconscious backstage, and either Brock Lesnar to enter or Kane.
okay.
Just to cost Bryan the match. If
there was rumor that they were thinking about taking Christian out, but they didn't end up doing that, I guess.
But either way, the match begins, and who was out first?
I know Randy Orton, Christian, Cena.
It must have been Cesaro then.
And I think Sheamus and Cesaro were out first. Yeah.
I'm just I'm looking for the eliminations on my match thing.
I'm not entirely sure though.
But either way, it comes down to Bryan versus Orton, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Comes down to Bryan versus Orton, and then Kane appears.
Yeah, because the Wyatt family came out.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. When it was three of them, wasn't it? It was when it was Cena, Orton, and Bryan. The lights came out. Everybody thought Undertaker, but no, it was the Wyatt family.
No, one of these days that's gonna happen. Like the lights are gonna go out, and everybody was like, "Oh, it's the Wyatts," and then, "Oh no, it's not."
Did that not technically happen on Raw? The
lights.
They did, didn't they? They went out, didn't they?
I don't know.
Oh, whatever.
I was too busy cheering.
You were too busy cheering because you knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming when the main event had about half an hour left on the show. But the Wyatt family come out. They begin to beat the hell out of Cena.
Yeah, I don't get this.
Oh, that's because it's going to be Bray Wyatt, John Cena at WrestleMania.
Well, okay, I get that part, but
so that's why they were there. They cost Cena the match, and so
Kane comes out to get rid of them.
Kane comes out to sort things out because he's the director of operations. That makes sense.
Yeah, sort things out, get rid of the Wyatts, check to make sure John's okay.
Hang on, Kane is the DOO, isn't he? DOO, director of operations.
Yeah.
So Kane is the doo-doo.
Yes, he is.
God, that was really childish.
That's okay.
But yeah, Kane comes out and Daniel Bryan. Now this is one thing, right? I know Daniel Bryan is a face, and I know everybody wants Daniel Bryan to stop being screwed over. So why did he attack the Giant? Why? I don't. I mean, I know Kane hurt him on Raw, right? But why antagonize the man? We all know how Kane works.
My thing is, I'm guessing
I would have left him alone.
He was thinking, if I attack him now, maybe he won't get to attack me first.
Yeah, well, I looked at it as Bryan was like, yeah, do you know what? Kane's there. I'm going to take my opportunity. And then so I looked at it.
And then people are like shocked that he got screwed over. It's like he attacked.
So I looked at it like as soon when Kane screwed him over. Well, there's your just desserts, Brian. You should have left him alone.
Yeah, you should have
Kane
left him.
Kane didn't come out when Brian was getting a pin or something. Kane came out to get rid of the Wyatts.
And to make sure John was okay.
To make sure Cena was all right. Kane didn't even look at Brian until Brian jumped on him. So
Yeah.
I think I looked at it like that, and I looked at it as, well, Brian deserved what he got.
Like I said, I'm guessing his reaction was, if I attack him now, maybe he won't get the chance to attack me. But
yeah, it's just something I thought. Anyway, but Kane eventually choked. What does he do? He punches Brian, doesn't he?
yeah, glad I wasn't Daniel Bryan. Ugh.
Kane breaks up the 3 count after the flying knee. Orton drops Daniel Bryan with an RKO kick out. Bryan finds Spark, rolls up Orton 2 count. Daniel Bryan starts to line up Randy for a flying knee, but Kane throat thrusts Bryan and Orton drops him with the RKO. Winner and still WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Randy Orton. So we're getting Orton versus Batista. It looks like a WrestleMania.
Damn it.
I'm gonna stop watching it after the Undertaker match, I think.
Yeah, the only problem is they put the Undertaker match at the... No, they put the title... They'd probably put the title match before.
Can you really see Can you really see Taker being the main event?
Well, they're not gonna put it after. They're not gonna put like a really, really good match and then a really crappy one.
That's what I don't know, but if Orton versus Batista is the main event, I can see that show being ruined at the end of it. I mean, somebody on a Canadian radio show that I was listening to made the very good point that, do you remember WrestleMania 20?
Yeah.
Do you remember Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg?
Vaguely.
Do you remember how much the crowd shit on that match? They were not, because both men were on their way out of the company at the time, and the fans didn't give a shit about that match. The fans couldn't care less.
Okay, so maybe they put Taker as the main event?
I think the only way they can save it is they've got to either put Daniel Bryan in the main event in a triple threat, or Taker's got to be the main event.
Yeah, because everybody who goes out after The Undertaker, the last... Since Shawn Michaels, I guess.
They've got 2 real ways. They've got to either add Bryan into that main event and give him the title win, or Taker's got to be the main event.
Yeah, because everybody that's gone out after Taker since, I guess, HBK has been like, that is a tough... It's hard to follow it, so...
Yeah, so that's the way I see it. They've got to think of something, and there's only a couple of things I think they can do.
Yeah, put Bryan in it, or put Taker Lesnar as the...
Yeah, so overall, in terms of points, none of us got any points for that one, because even though we did all say Randy Orton was going to win, we'd have all got a point, but we all went off in separate directions, didn't we, in the end?
Yeah.
But either way, we did on air. We did say Randy Orton, so we all got a point for that one. Let's say, but I think that leaves us completely even, because where I got one wrong, you got one right, and where you got one wrong, I got it right. So I think we're even in the end.
Yeah.
So I think points wise, we leave Extreme Rules. I think it's 3-3.
Yeah.
3-3, 4-4, something like that.
Something like that.
We leave it completely even anyway. Now, obviously, we do want to talk about WWE Monday Night Raw that followed on from this pay-per-view, but I think we'll take a musical interlude in the show. I think I'll put a song in provided by Kevin McLeod of Incompetech.com, and we'll be back. Yeah, well, after this song. Please enjoy this song by Incompetech. Cheers, guys. Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that song by Kevin McLeod of Incompetech.com. Obviously, we've basically come to the acclimatization that Cena's country girl isn't going to be here today. But we'll just continue on anyway. I'm still here, as is Take a Soul Girl.
Hello.
And yeah, we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk Monday Night Raw now. You're really excited about Monday Night Raw. Why? Is it because Hulk Hogan's back?
No.
We will actually get into that. But obviously, Raw starts out with Hulk Hogan coming out to the ring. Obviously, the WWE Network launched the morning of Raw,
We still don't have it.
and we still can't have it.
Yeah, because I tried to do it last night. You have to be from the States.
Yeah, it's net blocked, all right, and that's not good. But yeah,
Get it over here, like yesterday.
we want it. Yeah, honestly, if as soon as I've got this job, I will buy the network. If I could, I will buy the network for $10.
Yeah.
$10 a month for all the pay-per-views. Yeah, sure, I'll do that.
Total Divas and like Legends House
Yeah.
and all sorts of.
Well,
Stuff.
Legends House is complete shit. People have said they've seen it, but Hulk Hogan comes out, and yeah, Hulk Hogan starts his promo before he gets on the mic. The crowd is doing huge Hulk Hogan chants, and then he starts it with, "Well, let me tell you something, brother," and the crowd erupts. Absolutely mental goes the crowd.
That's cool that Hulk Hogan can still get pops in the
Yeah.
WWE.
It's honestly, when Hogan was coming down to the ring, I found myself saying, "Welcome home." Welcome back to where you belong. Hogan belongs in WWE doing things like this. He
I
shouldn't.
was just like, hi.
Yeah,
It's like I don't particularly like you, but hi.
he shouldn't be running a company. He should just be doing being Hulk Hogan, and
Yeah.
I'm cool with that,
Yeah.
But yeah, Hogan talks about how he was at WrestleMania 1, and he does all of his
Brother and Jack 50 million
his
times.
brother, his Jack, his what you gonna do when Hulkamania and the WWE Network and WrestleMania run wild on you. The child in me is going giddy watching this because it's great to see Hogan back in the WWE.
The little kid in me, like the little kid in me, is going yay, because I was a Hogan fan.
The little kid in you is going yay. Where's Undertaker?
No, I was a Hogan fan when I was a little kid. So it was like the little kid was going yay, and the adult me was going, okay, this is not what I was looking forward to.
It's great, but it is good to see Hogan. The announcers continue to talk about the network. This is groundbreaking stuff, and it's important that they talk about the network. Then we have a Bryan versus Kane match booked. And we get a rematch, and we get the announcement of a rematch between Batista and Alberto Del Rio.
I like the thing that they showed on the network, of course, which we can't get, but they showed it on Raw how the match with Kane and Daniel came about. And I don't like Triple H laughing at him and going, "I'll find a spot for you on WrestleMania." It's like, well,
yeah, Brian on the pre-show. No. So the first match of the night is Batista versus Alberto Del Rio. I don't understand why they do this. Why do they keep having rematches? I don't get it. But
I don't freaking know.
But
I wonder sometimes if I could book better stuff than they can.
But the thing you gotta say is Randy Orton's music hits and he comes out and he distracts Batista and Batista loses to Alberto Del Rio. So it's just your typical thing where two guys are having a feud, that being Batista and Randy Orton. One of them comes out and costs the other one the match against somebody crap. That's all it was.
Pretty much.
But oh well. There's a verbal delay. There's a verbal joust between Orton and Batista. Batista clearly says he doesn't care if the fans like him or not. He will take out Orton and become the WWE champion.
I don't know if I'd be fine with that or not.
Yeah, but next up, we have a match between Cesaro and Big E. Obviously, this is because Big E beat Jack Swagger on the pay-per-view, and Cesaro is coming back. Cesaro loses by disqualification
because of Jack Swagger.
So this is clearly starting to teach.
Yeah, it's setting up
the Real Americans breakup.
Yeah.
Obviously, the announcers, as they do every show, are talking about every Raw after a pay-per-view, recapping what we've seen on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, but they do that for people who haven't seen it, though.
Yeah, I suppose, but, since we've just talked about the pay-per-view, that was quite irritating.
Yeah.
Cena comes to the ring to address the Wyatts. The crowd like him, don't like him, don't like him, Cena.
The usual.
The usual Cena chant.
But the thing about Cena is he doesn't care whether you like him or not, as long as he gets a reaction out of you.
Mm-hmm.
Which, that's a good way to...
And then John Cena challenges Bray Wyatt to a fight. What are you doing, you idiot? You fool! Why are you doing this?
That's what Deanna said. She was like,
I
was screaming at the TV. What the fuck are you doing? Why are you doing this?
Why are you doing this, you fool? But the Wyatts come out with the oil lamp and they do their usual walk to the ring. Bray sits in his chair. The lights come back on. Bray's got a microphone. And Bray basically says, what would the world do without its hero?
John Cena is the hero of the world, but...
Yeah, but Bray is brilliant. Bray is really, really good on the mic.
He's scary. What are you talking about?
I think he's brilliant on the mic. He is scary, and that's what's so good.
I don't understand what he says. Even when Taker does the scary stuff, I can still make heads and tails of it. With this guy,
I still think eventually the Wyatts have got to butt heads with the Undertaker.
That would be that I would pay to see.
But the Wyatts surround Cena and beat him down.
Not surprising, considering it's 3-on-1. They hurt his knee in the process.
So this, I think, starts your Bray Wyatt versus John Cena run up to WrestleMania.
Yep.
So it's good to see that match is. It's not officially announced, but it's coming. It'll
be there.
Then we come back from commercial, and Cena was stretching out of the arena. Talks about Cena having hyperextended his knee.
Yeah.
So Cena's injured.
Yeah. His own damn fault for challenging.
Yeah. Now it becomes apparent that we missed something on the Raw pre-show that obviously only airs on the WWE Network. But they showed a highlight bit of it. A face-off between Sheamus and Christian.
Yeah.
Where Christian is clearly playing heel.
Yeah, I know.
When did Christian turn heel?
I don't know.
But it's apparent that he did, and as such, he's wrestling Sheamus tonight on Raw.
My mom was happy.
But Sheamus wins with the Brogue Kick.
My face.
Yeah, Al Christian's nose. Then obviously the announcers recap the pre-show, which we can't see because it airs on the network.
It's kind of nice they recap it.
It foreshadows the potential of Bryan versus Triple H at WrestleMania.
Yeah, but he scoffed at him and he's like, for WrestleMania, yeah, like. Kind of like, yeah, like I'm gonna put you on there.
But then there's a Daniel Bryan quote. Every time you put me in the ring with one of your A+ players, I kick the crap out of them. So that's a Daniel Bryan quote right there.
Yeah.
I think that builds up to Bryan versus Triple H at WrestleMania. I think it's happening.
And Bryan can kick the crap out of Triple H. Yay!
But the Shield are arguing. The Shield, which seems to be currently the Shield
breaking apart.
Yeah, which is slowly breaking apart. It seems that there's a division now between right down the middle with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns aligning together. It's they have a little go at Ambrose before Ambrose just wanders off into the darkness of the arena. Careful doing that. Kane used to hang out down there. It's good that Kane wears a suit and has an office now because Kane used to hang out in those dark corners.
Taker used to hang out in the stairwells, so don't go near the stairwells.
Is that actually a real life WWE thing, or is that just from your universe?
There was the...
I've never understood that stairwells thing.
In 2010, when they did the whole storyline...
Oh, yeah, Kane, he was sitting on the stairs, wasn't he?
He was sitting in the stairwell. So that's where that came from.
Well, either way, Dean Ambrose, sorry, I was talking about two crazy guys that I think are awesome. But, yeah, it would appear that the Shield is starting to break apart.
And the Wyatt family wanders up and...
Yeah, the Wyatt family wanders up on the two of them, and then Roman Reigns challenges Bray to a match. Why? I mean, you can obviously see that Roman wants to prove that he can beat Bray, but Roman, you're better than this.
You can do better, dude.
But either way, we now find out who the panel for this Raw is, and Ric Flair's on it.
Yay.
WWE letting Ric Flair do something live? That's a shocker. But yeah, the six-time champion Booker T and the Nature Boy Ric Flair are joining Josh Matthews to talk about what they want to see later on Raw, and Flair favours Daniel Bryan in the match with Kane.
Yeah.
And then we have Daniel Bryan come out. The audience go mental with the S chants. And he's going to be wrestling Kane next. Kane comes out in his corporate Kane gear, which is black dress pants, dress shoes, and a white vest. But most notably, those are Kane's elbow pads.
Yeah.
Those are classic Kane elbow pads. So it's good to see Kane wearing some of his classic Kane gear.
Where did the elbow pads come from?
Well, he used to wear the elbow pads when he was in his most recent masked thing, wasn't he?
Yeah, true.
So those are Kane's elbow pads.
Oh, okay.
But obviously, Kane and Daniel Bryan having a match, so that obviously goes to that. This obviously goes to prove that it's not going to be Daniel Bryan versus Kane at WrestleMania. It looks like it's going to be Daniel Bryan versus Triple H.
Good. I hope Daniel Bryan kicks Triple H's butt.
I'm
not just saying that.
Is there not the part of you that thinks they could have held this match off a little bit longer? Kane and Daniel Bryan, Team Hell No coming to blows? Or do WWE just want us to forget that we remember Daniel Bryan and Kane being a tag team last year? I don't think WWE wants us to remember that.
I thought it was funny. Kane was comical and it was kind of funny.
Yeah, but really. I don't think WWE thinks we remember it.
Yeah.
So the ending, I'm just going to the end of the match. Daniel Bryan hits Kane with a drop kick. Bryan kips up and lands a final head kick to Kane for a 2. Bryan gets on top, pointing to the roof. He goes for a flying headbutt, caught by Kane, 2 count chokeslam. Kane cannot believe it. He storms out the ring, picks Bryan up. Bryan tries to lock in the yes lock, but Kane powers out, sends Bryan into the corner, but sends Bryan into the corner, but Bryan hits Kane with the running knee and wins.
Yay!
So Daniel Bryan beats Kane, and then
although Kane kind of
he cuts a promo, tells the audience how he confronted the authority earlier on. He screams that Triple H is a coward. He hid behind his wife's skirt. Claims Triple H doesn't care what the people want. Notes that the WWE Universe supports Bryan and they know what they want, and that is Bryan versus Triple H at WrestleMania. So it looks like that's what we're getting.
It looks like it.
Yeah, and then we're told that Summer Rae is going to be in action next.
Whoopty friggin' do.
But she is wrestling Emma.
Who is very good.
Who is really, really good. And Emma's gimmick. I don't know whether. Do you understand Emma's gimmick? Because I completely get it because I've watched NXT. Do you get the whole dancing thing?
She's like the dancing queen or something like that?
No, the idea is she can't really dance, but she thinks she can.
Oh, okay, now I get it.
That's the idea. She thinks she can dance, but she really can't. She hasn't got any. But I really think Emma is a great one to have as a WWE diva to appeal to young girls, kids, little girls.
Yeah.
Because you can see little girls becoming big Emma fans
Yeah.
because everything is so sweet and wholesome about her, and she can wrestle.
I know, I noticed.
She beats Summer Rae with the Emma lock by submission,
I
and
noticed.
Summer Rae taps out. It's only a short match because it's a Divas match, but
She can wrestle, which is
yeah.
good.
Next up, we have a rematch: the New Age Outlaws versus the Usos.
That lasts about 5 minutes.
Yeah, literally lasts a couple of minutes. The Usos kick Road Dogg and take out Billy Gunn. Super splash later, and in record times, the Usos come out on top in this non-title match. So I think we might have a rematch at WrestleMania, you know.
Yay, that'd be cool.
But the Shield comes out, and here comes Roman Reigns,
All by himself.
all by himself. Yeah, no Shield present.
That was very weird.
But obviously, Dean Ambrose bugged off earlier. I would have liked to see Seth Rollins come down.
Where did he come from? Like, because if you look, what happened later?
Yeah.
Where did he come from? He was just Rollins was just all of a sudden there.
Yeah, he through the crowd probably. But this is a really good match. Reigns looked like an absolute star here.
And the fans were cheering for him. Even though even though he's a heel, they're
Even though he's a heel, he is a big star now.
and they can see that.
I am parallel Roman Reigns currently to the very early days of Stone Cold Steve Austin when he went into the Stone Cold character. He was a heel, but he was a heel, but the fans loved him.
Yeah.
But yeah, this match ends with Bray Wyatt winning by disqualification.
Because of Ambrose.
Rollins comes out of nowhere, plants the behemoths with a rolling senton. The two giants begin to attack Seth. Ambrose comes out to even up the play. Bray focuses at what's going on outside. Reigns hits Bray with a Superman punch, and when it appears that Reigns is winning it, Ambrose runs in and attacks Bray. So Ambrose has just cost Roman Reigns a match. So interesting there. Maybe do you think we'll see Roman Reigns challenging Ambrose for the title at WrestleMania? I think we might. I think we might get a Shield triple threat. I think we might get a triple threat between the Shield members.
Yeah.
Which Roman wins, but the camera pans and we can see that Brock Lesnar is here.
What is I'm starting to get excited again. So
Brock Lesnar's music hits as we return to as Raw comes back from commercial. The crowd has been dry all night, not really appreciating it. Anyways, back to the show. Brock, there's a black tarp over the ring and there's a table. Paul Heyman introduces himself. He declares that Brock deserves to be the number one contender and how it's unfair that he isn't in the title picture. We're told that Brock has been given an open contract at WrestleMania, meaning he gets to face anybody he wants at WrestleMania. Paul Heyman lists off that Brock is brilliant and talks about everything he's done. Paul Heyman says that Brock Lesnar can challenge anyone he wants at WrestleMania. And then, just as Paul finishes his thoughts...
Bong. Yay! And this is why I'm so excited, guys, because Undertaker's so gross, so...
Yeah, so... Undertaker appears. First thing that I noticed was the beard.
Yep.
I love that beard.
I was like... Oh my god, he dyed his beard black.
Yeah, a picture went out of him with a grey beard.
Because all the pictures I have of him, he has a grey beard now.
Pictures went out of him with this beard. He looked about 130 years old, but with the beard dyed black, I really thought of Ministry Undertaker with
Yeah.
that beard.
Even Deanna asked me, she's like, is that the Ministry Undertaker style beard? And I was
It
like,
is.
yeah, a little bit.
That is Ministry Undertaker beard, and the Undertaker is back, and it is great to see him back in the WWE. But yeah.
So?
Then Taker does his walk down to the ring. Brock appears to be scared of the Undertaker.
He was. He, like, when they were face to face, he did the...
And then there's a stare down, and then you can hear it, the crowd, Undertaker, Undertaker. And that is so good to see. It's so good to see that the crowd loves him as much as we do. Heyman begins to explain to Undertaker about how the contract works. Brock has immediately signed it. I thought that was a bit funny because obviously Taker's quite demony like, and sort of there is the element of, well, that's not a human in front of me, that's the Undertaker sort of thing. But yeah. Brock signs the contract, and then Taker, and you can take this from here.
He hands the pen to Taker to sign it with his hand down on the table. Taker picks up the pen. Instead of signing the contract, he stabs Lesnar with the pen.
And slams the pen into Brock's hand and choke slams him through the table. But
and the fans
one thing I will say is Taker didn't say a word. He stood face to face with Lesnar. He looked Lesnar in the eyes. He looked up at the WrestleMania sign, then looked down at Lesnar, and Lesnar nodded. So that was the match finalized. We're getting Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Undertaker then chokeslams Brock through the table.
And the crowd goes mental and starts chanting, holy shit.
So far for WrestleMania, we've got Batista Orton, Lesnar Undertaker, and Daniel Bryan versus Triple H. The road to WrestleMania, my friends, is well and truly on.
Yeah. I'm so happy.
So it is great to see Undertaker back, but I think for now, I think let's talk about his return. I mean, I think he looks younger now. I think he looks great now. I really do.
He's been, first thing, like, he comes out, the first thing my mom says, well, somebody's been working out.
Yeah, he looks really, really buff, didn't he?
So...
The only thing that I've got a slight problem with is I think this segment could have ended without the physical interaction. I don't think Taker needed to chokeslam Brock through the table. I think they could have had the stare down and have Brock leave.
My stance on that, it's Undertaker. Would you expect anything less than physical?
Well, the thing is, when they were first booking the match, Undertaker versus Triple H, they did the whole staring at each other, looking at the sign, looking at each other, and that was enough to book the match. They didn't physically touch each other pre-match. And I think they could have done that here. They could have had no physical interaction, and you have Lesnar be the one who hits Undertaker first. Lesnar's the heel. Lesnar's the one who needs the advantage. So I think Taker chokeslamming Lesnar might have been a negative. And I mean, we're going to have to see Brock get some sort of retribution before WrestleMania, and that means I think Taker's going to possibly. We talked about this pre-show.
Yeah.
What if Brock Lesnar breaks Undertaker's arm next week on Raw?
And then you have Undertaker all the way up to WrestleMania. Can he be there? Is he going to be there? What's going to happen?
Will he be all right? Will he make it to the show and all of that?
Yeah. And then popping up at the last possible second.
Yeah, and that I think could be a way they do it. But obviously, Undertaker's back. Hulk Hogan's back in the WWE. I'm a lot more positive now than I was a month ago at Royal Rumble.
Me too. I have to say, Elimination Chamber was a lot better of a pay-per-view than.
I still think WWE have made a mistake with the world title picture. But
How?
well, I don't think it should be Batista and Orton for the title because that match is going to be shit on. That
Yeah.
match will be shit on. So,
Should have been Randy and Bryan,
well,
or
Batista versus Bryan or somebody and Bryan. But either way, I think it'll all be all right on the night if Undertaker's in the main event. If Undertaker's the main event. If he's not the main event, I think anything that happens after his match will be shit on. But I think the Batista match, Batista Orton match, wherever it is on the card, is going to be crapped on.
yeah, put it at the beginning so we can get the crap over with. Because they've done that before.
Yeah, but I mean, they've done that before when they had 2 world championships.
Oh, that's true too.
They've only got 1 now. Do you think they'd do that?
Don't think so. So, okay, put Taker at the end of the card and everything will be fine.
do the title match before Undertaker, and I think you'll be all right. But do not end the card with Batista winning the title because you're gonna end WrestleMania with everybody booing.
Yeah, that's not good.
That is not good.
Especially since it's WrestleMania 30.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see how the card fills out for WrestleMania. But as we bring this show to a close, where can everybody follow you on various social media?
I have Facebook under Robin Wired, Twitter under Robin Wired, and you can find me on Fanfiction at Taker Stillgirl and YouTube at Taker Stillgirl 22.
Yeah, so make sure you do that. Obviously, as you guys know by now, I am on Twitter at TomWilliams1990. You're already on my YouTube page, so watch some of my other videos. I am on Fanfiction under Tom Williams 1990, but I update that. I hardly update that at the moment. So, and I'm in no way a talent on the level of other people. But hey, if you want to give me a chance to, if you want to give me a chance to read some of my brain farts, go ahead. But
and I'm okay, but
you're good. You're good.
Everybody says I'm awesome, but I just go, I'm all right.
Daughter of the Dead Man's brilliant, and that's why I am totally possibly going to send that to Undertaker at some point because we found him on Twitter.
Yeah,
but I'm not gonna promote his account because you guys can find it yourself.
And, yeah, we don't want to be responsible for people swarming him on Twitter. So
yeah, it's a private account, so that makes me think it's legit. But yeah, this brings to an end the post show of Elimination Chamber and the Raw after. My final thoughts on this show: for God's sake, WWE, give the network to the UK and Canada.
I agree with Tom.
Thank you guys and peace.
Bye.